What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Getting into this episode, I enjoyed this episode. I really did. I thought this was a pretty cool episode. I could not imagine what Kim is going through. I couldn't fathom. Because at first, I thought it was a little too soon for her to leave the Quartermaines. I mean, it's only been a day since Oscar passed. And I was surprised that she was leaving so fast. But you know what? Thinking about it, I respect her decision. I truly do. And, it's very strong of her. It shows how strong of a person she is to want to start this new chapter of her life. Even though she's not ready to do it. And she admitted that she's not ready. She don't know how she's supposed to do this, but she knows that she has to start somewhere. You know what I mean? Because this is the first day of her new life, her new normal now. Going back to her apartment, knowing that her son is never going to walk through that door again. You know what I mean? So it was hard for her. When she was in the hallway and stuff, she found a lot of cards and flowers and stuff like that at her door from people from Oscar's school, other kids from the school. I thought that was nice, and it was touching of them to send those things. And I'm very happy that, Julian was there for her and, he didn't let her go through this by herself, because I know how hard it is for her to walk through that front door, and it was hard. It was hard for her to just open that door and go into that apartment knowing that it's going to be just her in there now, And that's why Drew basically tried to get her to stay at the mansion. He basically told her, like, you can stay here as long as you need. There's no rush for her to leave. But, she kind of felt like it was time. She had to start this new chapter and she didn't want to waste time and prolong the inevitable, which I totally get. But, she felt like, oh, I'm not a Quartermaine, so I shouldn't be here. Let me tell you something. She has a child by a Quartermaine. So in my opinion, she's always going to be a part of the Quartermaine family. Always. Always. She's always going to be a part of the Quartermaine family. I basically kind of view Elizabeth as well as kind of being an extended member of the Quartermaines because of Jake. She has a son by a Quartermaine, so therefore she too is a part of the Quartermaines. Maybe unofficially, but she's a part of it. I view her as being a part of it, even though she never married into that family, but that doesn't matter. Fact is, you have a child by a Quartermaine. By extension, you're a member of the family. I couldn't imagine what she's going through, though. It was hard seeing that scene with her at the apartment and stuff. It was tough, It was just tough because you could tell, like, she just looked like she just wanted to break down. And it was hard for her to do it, just to go in that apartment. So it is good that, Julian was there for her. Honestly, I wanted Michael to beat the holy hell out of Shiloh. I'm not even gonna lie. That whole conversation that they had, like, I'm happy that Michael stood up for Christina. Like, he was basically telling Shiloh that if Christina wanted to be at DOD, she would be there. I wanted Michael just to knock that smug ass look off his face. Like, Shiloh annoys me to my core sometimes. He really does. I don't care what nobody say. I view him as a villain at this point. The way that he manhandled, the way he was grabbing on Willow, and the way he kind of threatened Willow, I see him as a villain. Some people say, oh, he's not a villain. He's a villain. The way he was basically threatening her, basically telling her yesterday how he was starting to lose his patience with her, and that if she don't come back to DOD, he gonna release her pledge. So basically, whatever she wrote in her pledge, he was gonna release it to destroy her, basically, because that's what those pledges are. They're basically ammunition for him to use against you. So whatever she put in that pledge is meant to destroy her or somebody close to her, and he threatened to release it. So that to me makes you a villain. And the way he acted today, when he went to go see Drew, and the way he acted about Oscar's death yesterday, he was acting very nonchalant about it. He was just evil, just a menacing type person. And he went over there with his little fake sympathy to Drew. I really wanted Drew to knock him out. Like, he went over there on a fishing expedition, if you ask me. He was fishing. Like, the topic of Drew's memories came up again. Like, he's still trying to see if Drew is serious about not looking back towards his memories. Like, is he thinking about getting his memories now that Oscar dead? That's the primary reason he went over there. because Drew told him before that he had no interest in getting his memories back because he would forget certain things like his son, and he would forget certain about meeting Oscar, about the day Scout was born. He would forget all those things. He didn't want to lose all those memories. But now that Oscar's dead, it's kind of the only thing stopping him, really, I want to say, is still him meeting Oscar and Scout. That's the only thing that's really kind of stopping him. But I think Shiloh went over there to see, now that Oscar's dead, maybe he's rethinking getting his memories back. It was a fishing expedition. That's all it was. He didn't come over there to give him no shoulder to lean on and, say, oh, I'm sorry, blah, 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 blah. No, you came over there to fish. That's what you did. You're not slick. And I wanted Drew to knock him on his ass. I really do hope that Drew gets his memories back, because whatever is in those memories, it pertains to Shiloh. I'm pretty sure it's something that can destroy Shiloh. I know it is. And he's sitting there telling Drew, oh, I hope that you can lean on me and stuff like that. Drew ain't buying it. Drew already knows something sneaky about him. Like, he's not buying it for sure. So anyway, Willow was basically telling Julian, because Julian stopped by the school to sign Leo up for preschool or whatever. So she was basically telling him that he need to, warn Brad or whatever, or, let him know about Brad signing up for classes at DOD. Julian doesn't see a problem with it, because Julian talking about, oh, far as what I've seen so far of DOD, they've been doing good work and stuff like that. Well, obviously, this girl is sitting here telling you that it's not all what it's cracked up to be. Like, what you're seeing is not really what's happening. You know what I mean? Like, everything you're seeing from DOD is not, under the surface, it's way more demented than you can imagine. And that's basically what she's trying to tell Julian. She's trying to warn him, but of course he don't want to listen. But I am glad that she agreed to talk to Christina and stuff like that, because she's not going to continue to allow Shiloh to bully her and get away with the mess that he's been getting away with. So she'd rather go talk to Christina about it. I freaking loved the scene with Alexis and Diane today. Valerie is just, like, she was parked across the street from Alexis's driveway. Sonny spotted her quickly. Like, he knew she was there. And besides, they already predicted, they predicted that she was going to follow Alexis anyway. They knew that. So when Sonny looked out the window, he basically told Alexis, like, I can see Valerie's car right across the street. Like, she's literally across from your driveway. So she wasn't all that subtle. So when Diane came over, Valerie sitting there looking at out her binoculars and stuff, talking about, oh, I wonder what Diane's doing here. Maybe Alexis needs legal advice. You've been in Port Charles now for 4 years. It's well documented that Alexis and Diane are best friends. They've been best friends for years. So they've been best friends for well over 10 years. That's already been established. You've been in town for 4 years. You mean to tell me you're shocked to see Diane there, and you would think that her only purpose for being there is legal advice? Are you serious? That's not why she's there. Alexis is a capable defense attorney, so I doubt she would be there for legal advice. Alexis knows the law, so she could be her own legal advice. Like, seriously. But I love the plan that Alexis came up with. So basically, her and Diane switched clothes. They switched clothes and they switched cars. So when Alexis left to go meet up with Christina at the safe house, she left wearing Diane's clothes and driving Diane's car. So that way Valerie wouldn't follow her, thinking that that's Diane. When Diane left, she was dressed as Alexis and driving Alexis's car. And she was basically sending Valerie on some little wild goose chase, driving all around town. And then she finally went to Kelly's. And even Valerie was like, damn, Alexis been all over the town today. That was a smart plan. But then when she went in after her or whatever into Kelly's, Diane came out dressed as herself and basically warned Valerie to stop following Alexis around, stop stalking her house, basically, because it's illegal and she can file a lawsuit. I love the way that they checked Valerie. I love it. I loved it. Because what I don't understand is Valerie knew Shiloh was a creep from day one of meeting him. She knew something was off about DOD. Chase knows that something is off about DOD. He knows that they're not all that what is cracked up to be. He knows this, especially from Willow's statements. So why are y'all trying to rescue someone who really doesn't actually need rescuing? I mean, granted, legally, Sonny and them kidnapping her is a crime, but still, you already know they're not doing it to hurt her. They're trying to protect her from this place that's basically controlling her. You know, every idea, everything that comes out of her mouth and everything that she thinks of is not even her own original ideas. They're all from Shiloh. So I don't understand, why are they even investigating this? It doesn't make sense. Like, y'all know DOD is a cult. So why are y'all hell bent on rescuing someone who does not need rescuing? I don't understand it. So anyway, they had a conversation with Christina and stuff, and Christina basically said the same thing that I've been saying. Christina her leaving DOD has to be her choice. Even she said that. It has to be her choice, which is so true. You know, but I'm glad that she opened up to her parents and stuff. But all of this, you know, kidnapping her, I get why they did it, but it's not really helping her in the long run, because she has to come to them for the help when she's ready to receive the help. You can't force her to do it. So I'm glad, you know, Michael brought Willow in, so that way Willow could tell her everything that she knows about what really goes on in DOD and what Shiloh's really up to. So Sam basically wants to do her confession, you know, for her recorder. Jason came up with the idea that her pledge should be about him, something incriminating about him that could put him in prison. At first, I wasn't too sure about it, but he did come up with like a little bit of a plan that he already has Spinelli setting something up. So that way, if Shiloh ever releases the pledge that Sam puts in, if Margot tries to charge him for whatever's in that pledge, she'll look stupid. So it's always good to have Spinelli on the team, because he could hack stuff, he could do whatever to shut it down. And basically that's the plan. Like, come up with something that's probably true, but fabricated in a way, so that way Margot would look stupid if she tried to charge him. That was smart, because, you know, Jason ain't about to go sit there and go to no prison. So I knew they had to come up with something on the sly to get out of this mess. Because, you know, him and Sam was still figuring out how to, you know, tell Danny and, you know, about Oscar, because, you know, they're kids, so they can't take all that information all at once, you know, just a little bit at a time, because they don't know anything about death and all that. They don't understand about death. They're too young to understand death. So, you know, they're trying to give them the information a little bit at a time, which is smart. That's pretty smart, and as you should, because they're kids, you know, they don't know nothing about it. They can't handle all that. And you don't want to give it all to them at once, you know, wait till they get a little older to explain it better. Especially Danny, you know, just to explain it better. But anyway, this was a pretty good episode, though. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Hit the comment section and let me know what y'all thought about it. I will see you all Monday. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Can't wait for the daytime Emmys this Sunday. It should be starting at 8 p.m. I believe it's going to be on Twitter. They're streaming it on Twitter. Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, maybe. Just, I guess, type in Daytime Emmys 2019, I guess. But I can't wait. You know, congrats to all the nominees again. I think it's going to be a wonderful show. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend, a wonderful day. See you all later. Peace.